Most people quit after one failure. Some quit after 5. A few survive 10. But what if I told you there was someone who failed 100 times before he finally succeeded? And the reason he won wasn't because he was smarter. It wasn't because he was more talented. It was because he learned something most people never do. This is the story of Armin, and it might change the way you look at failure forever. Armin grew up in a small town with big dreams. He wanted more from life, not because he hated where he came from, but because he knew he was capable of something greater. Every night, he imagined a different future, a future where he could help his family, a future where he was successful, a future where he could prove to himself that his dreams mattered. The problem: dreams are easy. Reality is hard. At 19 years old, Armin started his first project. He spent weeks planning, days preparing, hours imagining success. Then he launched it, and it failed. Nobody cared. Nobody noticed. Nobody believed in it. The failure hurt, but not enough to stop him. So he tried again. Failure. Again. Failure. Again. Failure. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. One failure became 10. 10 became 20. 20 became 50. Each time he thought, this one will work. And each time reality said, not yet. His friends started getting jobs. Some bought cars. Some moved on with their lives. Meanwhile, Armin was still struggling, still trying, still failing. People began asking questions. When are you going to stop? When are you going to be realistic? Maybe success isn't for everyone. The worst part wasn't hearing those words. The worst part was starting to believe them. One night, after another failure, Armin sat alone in his room. His desk was covered with unfinished plans. His savings were nearly gone. His confidence was disappearing. For the first time, he considered quitting. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe he wasn't good enough. Maybe his dreams were too big. Maybe failure was trying to tell him something. As he stared at the floor, his eyes landed on an old notebook. Inside it were all his previous attempts. Every idea, every mistake, every lesson, every failure. He flipped through the pages. At first, all he saw was disappointment. Then something changed. He noticed something important. Every failure had taught him something new. The first failure taught him planning. The 10th taught him patience. The 20th taught him discipline. The 50th taught him resilience. The 80th taught him confidence. Suddenly, failure looked different. He realized something most people never understand. Failure wasn't stopping him. Failure was training him. Every unsuccessful attempt had quietly been preparing him for success. The next morning, he made a decision. He would stop counting failures and start collecting lessons. Everything changed. When something went wrong, he no longer asked, "Why am I failing?" He asked, "What is this teaching me?" That simple shift transformed his mindset. Instead of becoming weaker after failure, he became stronger. Instead of becoming afraid, he became curious. Instead of seeing closed doors, he started seeing directions. Years passed. The failures continued. 91, 92, 93, 94. Most people would have quit long ago. But Armin was no longer chasing success. He was chasing improvement, and improvement made him unstoppable. Then came attempt number 100. By this point, he wasn't the same person anymore. The boy who started the journey had disappeared. In his place stood someone stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more patient, more resilient. Someone failure could no longer break. He launched his 100th attempt. And this time something happened. People noticed. Opportunities appeared. Doors opened. Momentum grew. For the first time, success arrived. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. The breakthrough he had been chasing for years finally came. Everyone saw the success, but nobody saw the 99 failures behind it. They called him lucky. They called him gifted. They called him talented. But they were wrong. Success wasn't built on attempt number 100. Success was built on attempts 1 through 99, because every failure had laid a brick, and together those bricks created the foundation for success. Years later, someone asked Armin, "What was the secret?" He smiled. Then he answered, "I stopped treating failure like an enemy. Failure became my teacher." That answer confused people, because most people spend their lives trying to avoid failure. But the truth is this: every successful person has a relationship with failure. The difference is that they don't run from it. They learn from it. Now let me ask you something. How many times have you failed? Once? 5 times? 10 times? And more importantly, how many lessons have you ignored because you were too focused on the disappointment? Failure is not proof that you should quit. Failure is proof that you are trying. The person who never fails usually never attempts anything difficult. The person who succeeds is often the one who refuses to stop. Remember this: every expert was once a beginner. Every winner was once a struggler. Every success story contains chapters of failure nobody talks about. So if you're failing today, good. Learn, adjust, improve. Then try again, because your next attempt could be the one that changes everything. And even if it isn't, the lesson you learn from it might be: failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. And the people who understand that are the ones who eventually win.